At JCPenney's Memorial Day sale, sizzling deals are on, with store-wide doorbusters all weekend. Or bring home savings up to 50% during our Memorial Day home sale. Save even more with your coupon. And for all former and active military personnel, enjoy an extra 10% off in-store. Just show a valid military or VA ID at checkout. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 5/30. Some exclusions apply. Doorbusters valid 5/26 through 5/30 and excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hi guys, Dr. Drwendydearborne here from the Laws of Attraction in Action, and that's the Laws of Attraction in Action.com. Well, this is the first podcast for the year, and I just want to take this time out to say to you, happy New Year. It's already started out as a brilliant new year. It's going to continue on as brilliant, and guys, we are going to manifest what it is that we want in 2020. Woohoo. Do you know, somebody said to me, you could have said that with a bit more enthusiasm. So here goes. Woohoo! We're going to do it, guys. We are doing it. There's so much that I have on my storyboard to share with you this year, so much. As I had said to a couple of people in my group, and that's the Laws of Attraction in Action on Facebook. As I said to a couple of people in the group, you know, I've got so much swirling around my head, and there's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to say. It's all bursting to get out of me. Well, one of the things that I really do want you to know is that you and the Laws of Attraction, which is the name of this podcast, you and the Laws of Attraction, what this podcast is all about, it's all about me, it's all about you. It is, guys, all about us creating the lives that we want to live. It's about understanding that the first law in the universal law of attraction, and that's the universal laws, plural, of attraction, is choice. Before you can do anything, whether you see it in your imagination, whether you visualize it, whatever you do, you have to lay claim to it through the power of choice. Choice is the first law in the laws of attraction. And that's my claim to fame. Darlings, I'm a choice expert. I am bringing information to you about choices. I'm bringing information to you about the other laws. There are so many other laws that we need to know about. The law of space, the law of, gratitude, love, forgiveness. But there is so much more. The law of silence, that's a huge one. People don't even know that. The law of attention. Okay? These are laws that are very pertinent. Spiritual laws, natural laws, God's laws. These are laws that are very pertinent. But that being said, guys, this show is, like everything else that I've uploaded in the last couple of days, is show me what I'm working with for the year 2020. What am I working with for the next 364 days. Show me what I'm working with. So each year on New Year's Eve, I go into the silence to commune with God. And I simply ask the question, show me what it is that I need to know and work with for the next 365 days. I actually don't ask anymore what it is I need to work on, but I ask what I need to work with. And that's to assist and support myself and others, this is like you who are listening, to be able to consistently and consciously manifest their or our heart's desires. I also do this and also want to know and also want to share my information with you, so you have a greater and clearer understanding of the universal laws and how they work and how to work with them, maximizing them to their fullest potential, i.e. utilizing the laws so you can have what you want. New Year's Eve 2019, just gone. When I went into meditation, it gave me the universal law of grace. That's what it gave me. the universal law of grace. The irony is, whenever I thought about grace and used the word grace in reference to spirituality, I always thought about it as divine mercy, forgiveness, empathy, sympathy, compassion, or something along those lines. After all, that is what I have been taught. So I was a little wowed, actually a lot wowed, kind of putting it mildly. I was a little wowed or a lot wowed during my New Year's Eve meditation and my conversation with God when I actually received the universal law of grace. This is what we would be working with, what I would be working with, what I would be sharing. And the fact that the definition that had been given to me had nothing to do with what I'd been taught. Mercy, compassion, unconditional love, turn the other cheek, the whole none of that. None of that. Now I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share a little something with you. And it suffice to say that this isn't the first time I've been wowed or had that experience during my meditative fact-finding conversation with God. I've been wowed several times, and being wowed constitutes receiving information that is the total antithesis, the total opposite of what I think and or have been told and have been taught to be true. But once again, this isn't the first time that I've had that experience, and neither is it the first time that I have elected. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. What I'm saying here is this is not. This isn't the first time that I've been wowed. And I mean like wow. During my inner meditation. This isn't the first time that I've been wowed. It's not the first time I've experienced that kind of wow factor in my meditation. And that's when I'm talking about during my inner meditative fact-finding conversation with God. And just so you know, being wowed constitutes receiving information that is the total antithesis, the total opposite of what I think, what I've been taught, what I've been told is true. But what is a first for me, and this is the first time that I have elected not to massage or reshape the message that I've been given. If you will, this isn't the first time that I've been wowed, and I would imagine it's not going to be the last. Okay, guys? And once again, it's not the first time I've been wowed during my inner meditative fact-finding conversation with God. And being wowed constitutes receiving information that is the total antithesis, guys. It is the total opposite of what I think, what I've been told to think, what I've been told is true, what I believe is true, and what I've been taught. But what is a first time for me is that I have elected not to massage or reshape the information, if you will. I'm not going to massage or reshape it. I'm not gonna try and change what I received in the silence. You see, being wowed sometimes is overwhelming for me, and it becomes difficult for me to, or I have chosen for it up until this point, for it to be difficult for me to disseminate this information. So I would often attempt to keep the essence of the information received and yet make it more acceptable or palatable for people, so it doesn't fly in the face of what they've been taught. And there's a lot of irony here. You see, making changes to the raw information on the pretext of making it more palatable for people, even if I keep the essence, can sometimes change the entire message. a small word like and, if, or how you structure the sentence, you move the words around, etc., changes the entire context of the information being disseminated. And while we're on that fact, I have been shown this, I can't tell you how many years, because when I go to all the different spiritual books that I have, including the Bible, you go to somewhere like Bible Hub, and good God Almighty, they have so many different Bibles. You've got the Christian Science Bible. You've got the New King James Version. You've got Thompson Version. You've got Concord. You've got all these different versions. And as I would read through things that I'm looking for, because when I work, I always look for biblical scriptures and from other books, spiritual scriptures, and from other books to support some of the things that I get as insights, and of course some of the things that I want to explain to people, want to share with people. And you look at Bible Hub, and there are so many different versions. And sometimes I look at the stuff, and I'm like, well, dude, if we take the original version to be the King James version, okay, we take that. That's my start point, because that's my go-to. And then you start looking at some of these new and improved, as they say, versions. The total context by the word, the total context has been changed. It's like, oh my God. Well, I was told clearly when I went into the silence to commune with God on New Year's Eve 2019, I was told clearly, do not do that anymore. And so, for the most part, I'm obedient, so I won't. Moving forward, I won't. But I did ask the universal creator, as it is my divine right, to actually give me the information that must be disseminated in a way that is best for people, or for the people who need to hear it. And also in a way that I feel comfortable too. And I feel comfortable in disseminating. And that was my ask. So, 2020, what did I get? The universal law of grace. The universal law of grace invokes your ability to stand still. And it gives you the fluidity of movement to maneuver through life and remain unharmed. Grace places you in the eye of the storm, and there you remain untouched. And and that was the definition. There's a little bit more that I'm going to add to that came to me. Because one of the things that people would always say, there by the grace of God go I. And I always thought it was, there by God's mercy, there by God's grace, there by God's compassion, there by God's love, unconditional or otherwise, there by God's grace, mercy, the whole 9 yards. But when I was given, grace places you in the eye of the storm, and there you remain touched. And then I heard, and thereby the grace of God go I. So guys, that is the universal law of grace. That is the universal law of grace. And that's one of the things that I will be working with. And that will be one of the underlying factors, or the underlying thread that is prevailing through everything, and pervasive through everything that I am going to be sharing with you this year. And I'm going to be sharing with you a lot. I've got so much to say. But that being said, the year 2020, I've said this before, it is a year for detail. It's a year for attention to detail. 2020, attention to detail. 2020, add it all up, you get 40. The lowest, I believe, denomination is 4. 4 is the square of life. This year is about improving on, expanding on, building wherever you're at in your process, the foundation upon which you want your manifestations to come. This is about building the foundation for your life. 2020. It's about attention to detail. And attention to detail isn't hard, in as much as it's about challenge and focus. It's just about challenge and focus. It's about your attention to the details of what it is that you want. It can be fun. It can be, when I say fun, literally I mean fun, because you're going to learn about you. You're going to learn about you. And the more you know about you, the authentic you, the better life will be for you. So guys, I wanted to share that with you also. And I've already uploaded a blog. Please make sure you go to thelawsofattractioninaction.com. Please, 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 thelawsofattractioninaction.com. Or you can simply go to, I have to write it out, L, laws, O, of, attraction, A, I-A. So you can go to LOAIA.com. That's the shortened version. LOAIA.com. And so make sure you go there, take a look at the latest couple of blogs. Be sure to keep up with what Dad said, because that's definitely words of wisdom and inspiration from my father, who just recently passed. Well, yeah, it hasn't been a year yet, but words of inspiration from my father that he had given and has given to me, which I'm going to share with you. We're also getting ready to do a workshop, and this is all in the next 90 days. You're going to get a webinar on imagination, and that is the third part of a 3-part series to manifesting. First bit was belief. The second piece was a moving visualization. And this third piece is imagination. And once you have all those 3, guys, you're going to be dynamite. You're going to be rocket fuel. You are going to be able to, should you choose, manifest what you want at will. Now, I will add a caveat here. It's really important to understand that manifesting still comes under the divine order. There's a divine order of things. Now, you may want something, but you might not be really ready for it yet, you know? And so certain things have to be in place. There are certain people, places, and things that have to be moved so you can have what you want. And everything is in divine order. So we're going to be looking at the webinar, or you are going to be experiencing the webinar Imagination. I've got a workshop coming up with word power and affirmation. Guys, you have to be really vigilant about your thought process, about how you say things. You know, people just don't understand the power of their word. You'll be getting a weekly podcast, which this is one of them. I'm going to be doing Facebook Live. I'm going to be doing YouTube Live. And I'm actually going to do a couple of Zoom meetups. So look out for the blogs. This is all in the first 90 days. And you'll be getting a weekly podcast. You will be getting a blog, at least a monthly blog. The workshop is coming. Facebook Live. That really is on the Facebook group. So guys, I really do encourage you to sign up and fill out all the necessary information. Otherwise, I might not click OK. I might not click OK. Fill out all the prerequisite information, even if it is that you heard me on my podcast, and of course YouTube Live. Lots of things coming this way, guys. Check it out. Lots of information, and of course it's usually duplicated for the most part at LOAIA.com. So guys, Dr. Wendy Dearborne here. Happy New Year. It's already an awesome year. And we are going to be consciously manifesting what we want. Before I sign off, let me just say this. If you haven't taken the time to at least jot down the major goals that you want for this year, better health, more wealth, relationships, and I'm not talking about detail, although this year is attention to detail. I'm just talking about a rough outline of what it is that you want, so you can actually see it. It creates the map so you can actually see it. It's really, really important, guys. It's really important. Otherwise, the tendency for most is just to drift along. Why drift along when you can actually utilize that time to effectively, focusedly, if that's a word, and with intention, create what it is that you want. And everybody wants something. Everybody wants something, because you're here for a purpose, and that purpose is driving you. Well, guys, this is a short podcast, and I've decided whether long or short, you will get a podcast, whether long or short. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne from the Laws of Attraction in Action.com. I'm a choice expert, and I'm here to help you with your choices. Until next time, guys, peace.